Trump's economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, was visibly confused and sounded off when it came to simple arithmetic on CNN yesterday. I think you'll find this disturbing because it is wild confusion about basic numbers combined with a very odd delivery from Larry Kudlow, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, the setup is that there's been a debate about what is the next stimulus package going to include, when is the next stimulus package going to happen, what's the unemployment piece, and how does it all fit together. Larry Kudlow puts together a word salad where it's not even clear he knows the numbers. He certainly can't express them, but it's not even clear he knows what the numbers are. CNN's Dana Bash tries to figure out what the hell is Larry Kudlow talking about. She can't do it. Kudlow is confused, and it all falls apart.
Today,
so when will people see their first checks?
I don't want to be specific because you might hold me to it, as you should, but I think it's going to be in a couple of weeks, and I think it's going to come to about $1,200 per person. That's a huge wage increase.
You keep saying $1,200 per person. Are you talking about in addition to the unemployment that they're already getting?
Oh, no.
Where does that number come from?
That's the payroll. I beg your pardon. The $1,200 will come from the payroll tax deferral.
Okay, we're going to get to that. Okay,
all
right, because there's a lot of numbers here, and it's a little confusing. I'm going to get to payroll tax in a minute. Go ahead.
It should be $800. I beg your pardon. It should be $800 for the unemployment.
800 or 400?
No, it should be $800. If the states step up, we're prepared to match. That should come out $400 federal, $400 states.
Okay, we'll move on because I think that's not what the president said, and it's a bit confusing. And I think the fact that it's not entirely known is very telling.
$1,200 per person payroll tax deferral. Wait, no, stimulus. Actually, it should be $800 for unemployment. No, we're prepared to match 400 federal and 400 state, but we're matching. Wait, but what does that even mean? You're matching 400 federal? There's really nothing federal to match. It's all state when it comes to unemployment. And then the federal match or enhancement is of state unemployment insurance. If you think I sound confused, yes, it's because it's this insane, what Larry Kudlow is saying. He's saying there's a state match and a federal match. What does that even mean? And Dana Bash just white flags. She surrenders and she says, let's move on. This is totally confusing. It's not what Donald Trump is saying. Now, the second layer is that not only is Larry Kudlow presenting this in a completely impossible to understand way, it also seems to be completely different from what what Donald Trump himself has said. And when we talk about this matching, the feds contribute $300 if the states add another $100. But I'm trying to sort out something as if it's at all clear. And Kudlow just was slightly confused. He seems to have no idea what's going on whatsoever. And it gets even worse during this interview. Here's a similar confusion about the payroll tax deferral, not a cut, a deferral. And Larry Kudlow equally confused.
But the president said explicitly that if he gets reelected, he will make the payroll tax cut permanent. As you well know, these funds go into and help pay for Social Security and Medicare. The president promised many times not to cut Social Security and Medicare. So isn't that exactly what he would be doing here?
No, he will protect Social Security and Medicare.
How does he do that and cut payroll taxes at the same time?
Many times. Well, hang on. When he referred to permanent, I think what he was saying is that the deferral of the payroll tax to the end of the year will be made permanent. It will be forgiven. The tax is not going away. We're still going to have the Social Security tax.
He said he would do away with it if he gets reelected. It was a new campaign pledge.
But I think that he was referring doing away with it. I believe he was referring to doing away with the payback of the deferral. And I think his intent here, and it's written in the EOs very clear, that we will take any steps possible to forgive this deferral. That's what he was actually saying. We will protect Social Security.
That's what you're saying.
Medicare.
That is not what the president said at all. he said the opposite.
It's in the executive
Just real quick.
order.
Okay.
It's
well,
in the
that's not what he said.
order.
People aren't reading the executive order. They're listening to this.
Well, I think he was
they're listening to what he said.
I think he meant the deferral would be forgiven. I think he was saying that the savings on the deferral will be permanent. He did not mean that he's eliminating the Social Security tax.
It's a deferral that will be forgiven without doing away with the tax. But Trump said he would do away with it if he's reelected, but that's not what Trump meant, according to Kudlow. If you were confused, and you were confused further by my explanation, good. It's outrageously confusing and deceptive. And this is it's either or both. You take your pick. They're either all deliberately saying different things in order to sort of let everybody take their pick. And if they hear one version that sounds okay, they like it and they say, I approve. Or they actually don't know what the hell is going on and everybody's saying something different, or some combination, right? That's always a possibility. We need to hear from Kudlow what Trump meant, apparently. I mean, Kudlow is saying what the president meant is this. Absolutely outrageous and bizarre. Now, I do have to mention one thing to go back to Larry Kudlow's demeanor here. People have been emailing me saying, is Kudlow drunk? Again, during this interview. I understand why you were asking. Larry Kudlow does have a history of problems when it comes to alcohol consumption. That's not anything to laugh at. I don't know the answer in this case, but certainly it's not a crazy thing to wonder about with Larry Kudlow. His thinking clearly seemed impaired. He was visibly confused by the arithmetic and by what he's saying and by what he's being asked and by what Donald Trump said and by what Donald Trump meant. It's a verbal ink blot, as I like to say. As far as the alcohol piece is concerned, I don't know. It's up to others to evaluate and judge. His thinking was impaired by what is definitely a different question that I guess we will have to leave, presumably for a different day. One of our sponsors is Privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at Privacy.com/Pakman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. It takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the Privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft. And it's free. There's no catch whatsoever. But if you want, Privacy also offers a $10 a month plan that gives you 1% cash back and lets you create 36 credit cards a month, and a $25 a month plan tailored more for small businesses where you can create 60 card numbers a month and much more. But definitely go ahead and at least get started with the free plan. You'll protect your financial info. Companies can't charge you unexpectedly. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at Privacy.com/Pakman.